Alright, here's my 2001 Mustang Bullitt. It's in true blue, number 4622, and I wanted to talk a little bit about it today, all the stuff that it's been through. And first of all, I just want to say how important the Bullitt Mustangs are to me. I grew up in a neighborhood where the local Ford dealership owner lived just a few streets down, and he was a really nice guy. And he bought a dark Highland green Bullitt right when they came out, and he took me for a ride in his, and I'd go over and I'd wash it for him, and he'd take me for rides in it, and I really liked it, and I decided I'd like to have one. When I was 16 at the time, and I had a 97 Mustang V6, and I had that car for about 10 years. But anyway, the Mach 1s came out, and the 0304 Cobras came out, and so I decided to get the Azure Blue Mach 1 first. But part of me still wanted a Bullitt, even though it was a 16 valve, slower than my Mach 1 and all that. The cars are still very special. They have, they're numbered. They have a whole bunch of different pieces on them that make them different. I believe there's over 50 pieces on a Bullitt that makes it a Bullitt. And anyway, I decided I still wanted a Bullitt, and so I started looking on Craigslist, and I found one nearby that was in pretty rough shape, and this is the car. And I wanted a car that I could take out and have a lot of fun with. I decided that my goal was to take this Bullitt and make it at least as fast as my Mach 1. And so I'll tell you all the things I've done to it, and we'll do a little walk around video here, but I'm going to talk about the history of this car as well, because when I bought it, it was in rough shape, like I said. The hood scoop was completely peeled and faded. This front fender was peeling. The door was smashed and creased. As you can see on this side, there's still a dent in the quarter panel, which I haven't got around to fixing yet, because I'm probably going to have to cut that whole quarter panel off and have it painted, and so when I get the whole car repainted, I'll probably do that. But the driver's seat was slashed by the jealous ex-wife of the previous owner, and it has these little rock dings on the roof. I guess a couple days before I bought it, the guy said he came out and there was rocks sitting on top of it, and some kids were throwing rocks at it. And anyway, I love Bullitts, and they're really special to me, and so I took this car and I decided I could either buy a nice one with about 60 or 80,000 miles on it, or I could buy this one and give it a second chance and turn it into something special. And so I decided to buy this one and save it. Some people wanted to buy it to part it out, and I decided I was going to buy it and save it. Starting from the front, the front bumper is a new bumper that's been repainted. The one I had was cracked and broken. It has a Mach 1 chin spoiler and a Mach 1 grill delete in the front. The headlights are actually out of my friend's 2004 Mach 1. This front fender, like I said, has been replaced. It had a non-OEM fender, and now it has an OEM Ford fender. The hood scoop has just been repainted. It was peeling really bad. It looked terrible. And the wheels are actually off of a 2003 GT. For those of you that don't know, the 0102 Bullitt wheels are a lighter gray than the 0304 GT Bullitt wheels, and so I wanted to put the deep dish ones on it, like I have here from late model restoration. And from all my research, I found out that the 0304 wheels matched better than the 0102 wheels as far as matching the aftermarkets. So I got a really nice set of these wheels. They only had 40,000 miles on them, and I got new BF Goodrich tires for those, and I got my deep dish wheels at the same time. So I did that whole setup, so actually a lot of work to get the car how I wanted it. But anyway, the front brakes they're new discs and pads, and going along the side, obviously I'm missing the Bullitt mud flat piece, which they're basically impossible to find. I have a set of GT side skirts that I'm considering painting true blue just to put them on for the meantime. But anyway, this door was creased really bad down the middle, and this is a whole nother door off another GT that was true blue, and so I fixed that. That really bothered me. The mirror is different. It had an aftermarket mirror. The other one was broken off right about where the crease was, so I imagine they hit it into something there and broke the mirror. And the plastic is a different kind of plastic on the aftermarket mirrors, and it didn't match well. So I got a GT mirror from another car, so it matches the other side now. And like I said, I have the 315 rear wheels and deep dish with Mickey Thompson street comp tires, and the taillights are out of another car. They're a lot nicer than the ones that were in it. The other ones were cracked, and the silver part of the inside of the light was pitting and turning black. So I got a new set of taillights there. Actually, my brother got them for me for Christmas. That was really nice of him. The Bullitt badge was on all crooked, so I spent a lot of time with a ruler and masking tape, and I did a lot of research on the internet to find out where it should be positioned, and I made lines with masking tape where it should be, and I actually have another Bullitt badge that comes on the tape that shows the spacing, so I laid that badge above it, and I put each of those letters right where they should be. Obviously, it has aftermarket exhaust. I really like the SLP loudmouth catback, which I have on my Mach 1 as well. And my friend did this Plasti Dip valence in black, which I think looks pretty good. It has the LED third brake light, and right now there's a little bit of frost on it, or condensation on the roof and the trunk lid, but it looks pretty good. So anyway, the overall paint on the car was pretty rough. I went over every inch of it with a buffing compound and a mother's Powerball, and several coats of wax over the years have brought the paint back pretty good. Although there's still some imperfections in the paint. There's still these little cracks in the clear coat. Some people call them chicken feet or whatever. So unfortunately the car will have to be repainted one day, but I wanted to make it at least presentable for now. And going inside, I had mentioned that the seats were slashed by the previous owner's ex-wife, and I happened to get this set of Bullitt seats out of another Bullitt that I bought as an investment a little while ago. And so the seats are nice now, and the door panels are the same that came with the car, but the pull is different. The door pull was cracked and ruined. It'd come out every time you try to shut the door, and so I got an OEM door pull for it, and it had the on in 60 seconds cup holder Bullitt thing, and the on in 60 seconds LED light up Bullitt coin slot, and the about just a GT cigarette lighter, which I liked because the Bullitt's still a GT. Anyway, I have LED gauges, soft white LEDs, because the pure whites turn the gauges a blue color, because the gauges actually have a light blue film on them from the factory, and so you have to do soft white and they'll come out pure white when you're driving at night. Anyway, so as far as the interior goes, that's about it. I have the OEM floor mats out of my brother's Mach 1. But anyway, like I said, I wanted a car that I could have a lot of fun with. And I bought the Bullitt as a car to be my daily driver and to be a car that I could go out and have a lot of fun on the streets and go to the drag strip with it. A car I can learn how to do donuts with and just have a whole lot of fun with, but take care of at the same time. So here's the drivetrain of my Bullitt. When I bought it, it was all stock with 126,000 miles, and now basically from the radiator to the rear end it's been completely changed. When I was racing it in Las Vegas at the drag strip, I had cylinder 3 go out, and the piston pre-detonated and blew one of the ringlets off of it. And it turns out, from everything I've researched, I've been told that it's because it had a bad tune on it and it was set way too lean. It had a SCT tune with custom tunes from a major Mustang company who I'm sure most of you know. But anyway, they had the tune set wrong and it pre-detonated the engine. Everyone's told me that that should never happen with a naturally aspirated car, and that it was really bad that they had set it like that. And anyway, what it boiled down to was I had to sleep in the car that night in a truck stop parking lot where I limped it to. My brother got a trailer and a truck, which took him all day to go around Vegas trying to get a trailer, and we towed it home. And I decided I was gonna build it pretty good now, so I got a MMR Street Mod 600 2-valve engine for it. So it has a 2004 Cobra Mustang block and Ford Racing cast crank. It has a 4-valve pickup, oil pickup, and a MMR 8-quart oil pan. It has the heads are Patriot Stage 2 and they're ported, and it has bronze valve guides, Viton valve seals, and Comp XE270 cams. So the engine's built pretty good. The pistons are now manly, and it has MMR I-beams, low compression 9 to 5 to 1, so it's ready for a boosted application if I choose to do a Kenny Bell or something with it in the future. And it has BBK headers and 30-pound Ford Racing fuel injectors. And the car, well, it has the JLT fender well intake, which is supposed to get a little bit colder air from the fender well. And the car dynoed at 304 at the wheel. It has a pipes, off-road X pipe, and a SLP loudmouth 1 catback. The car has Steeda caster camber plates, a Steeda sway bar, Steeda rear tubular upper and lower control arms, and Eibach lowering springs with a Eibach Pro kit. It's got a whole new air conditioning system on it, new condenser and everything. It has the Bullitt intake manifold still on it, which I cleaned out. Had little pieces of the piston inside of it that when it pre-detonated it sucked them up through the valves threw them back into the intake and bounced around in there. So luckily I cleaned out that intake before I put the new engine in it. And anyway, so it has an aluminum drive shaft from Ford Racing. It has a Ram clutch HD, and it has a Steeda handle with a 5.0 Pro shifter, a short throw, which I really like that combination. It works really well. I like the way it feels, the way it shifts. The transmission's original. Basically everything else isn't. It has the 410 Ford Racing gears with Alloy USA axles and Alloy USA studs for the lug nuts. Anyway, so that's basically the story of my Bullitt.